Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. Every once in a while, we talk about something else crafty, but today it is all cross stitch. If you are new, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see, and you'll hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff that goes with it. Leave comments and all that good stuff. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much. As always, I am so appreciative of each and every one of you that come back and watch each week and share my love of stitching. I love it, and I love to share it with everybody else. So today, normally I don't have a lot of t-shirts. I need to fix that, but I'm repping my Bryn Mawr field hockey t-shirt today because the girls played last night. Megan is on the field hockey team, and they had their very first game last night, and they won. So they won in overtime, first overtime, in the literal, actually there was no time left. If you know field hockey, you know that you can get a corner even when there's no time left on the clock. So there was no time left in the first overtime. They had to score on this or it would go to a second overtime, and they scored. So super exciting ending. And yeah, it was a little too far away for us to go to in person, but it was streamed, so we were able to watch it on TV, and hopefully we will get to see some games soon. But I figured I would, since I couldn't wear it in person yesterday, I would wear it today as a congrats to the team. All right, that's it. Let's get started. I have no finishes. I'm so close, excuse me, but I didn't finish it. So I'm gonna show it first, just because it's so close. It should be in the finished section of my videos. I have 5 pieces that I worked on this week that have already been started, that you've seen at some point or another, depending on when you've started watching my videos, or maybe it'd be brand new to you. And I have 1 new start to show you this week as well. So let's jump right in. All right, so first one. Oh, now see, I'm in my new, I'm in the Delaware setup, and I'm all discombobulated. This one is a digital, so I need to get my iPad to show you. And I was not ready for that. This one is called Cobblestone Crossing from Stone Street Stitchworks. I think on Etsy it's Stone Street Stitch. It's linked down below in the description box under the projects I worked on. And so close. Here I am. This is done on 18 count Old West from Color and Cotton. Lovely color, really great neutral. I finished both houses, except for both houses have snow on top of them, and then there's snowflakes. And I don't know what I'm doing up here. So I'm gonna call it a finish for now. I'm sure there's an acronym for that. We have acronyms for everything in cross stitch. I'm gonna call it a finish for now once I get that part done. So I am going to buckle down this week and stitch some snow, and then I can call this one done. Really fun stitch if you've thought about it. Quick, easy stitch, and Stone Street are fun. They're really fun to stitch. So that's what it looks like. So close. I was using this as car stitching. We went to IKEA on Saturday last week, and I didn't do the driving, so I grabbed this. I figured it would be easy enough to stitch. Oh, I didn't finish the house. I'm looking at it on the screen saying it doesn't look right. I didn't finish the house, silly. I ran out of time stitching in the car. So I have to finish the house and then do the snow. That'll be easy and quick though. So that's that. I should pay attention to what I'm showing you. All right, I have the counter right here, so I'm gonna put those right there. Now the next one is my experiment. It's my color experiment that I'm super excited to keep working on and seeing what colors can look like on different colors of fabric. This is the Summer in Nantucket pattern from Plum Street Samplers, and that's what it'll look like. Or it looks like they do it on a type of gray, I think it looks like. Yeah, they do it on a gray, the sample. I started it first a couple months ago on, this is called I forgot. you know what? Let's do this. I need something in the back. I forgot with this lighting here that you can see through my Ada. This one is called Summer Storm, and it is from To Die For Fabrics. See, I've never had to use one of those boards that everybody always has to use before, but with my lighting, I think I'm gonna have to pick one up. So that's what it looks like in the blue. And then I wasn't sure if that was what I wanted it to be as the final, so I picked it up and I did it in a yellow. And this is called Gilded from Mystic Fabrics. So let's see if I'll open up this and show them side by side. You know what, I'll fold this over for now because you don't need to see the extra fabric. What I am literally doing on this one is I stitch a strand on one color and I stitch a strand on the other so that they are completely exactly, let me fold this over properly. They are completely exactly at basically the same spots so that I will be able to see and I'll be able to show you what it looks like on each of the different colors. You've got much more of the cool vibe with the blue and the warm vibe with the yellow. And I can't wait till they're both done so that I can show you side by side what they look like. Again, I had mentioned this last week. Fascinates me how colors can look different with different kind of colors. So I'm so excited with this experiment to keep going with it and giving it, keep giving it a try. And it's a fun little stitch, by the way. So if you like that kind of vibe and look, I'd recommend it if you've not done it before. Okay? Now, this next one, you haven't seen in ages. I haven't pulled it out in a long time, and I realized I really do need to give it some time. So it'll never get finished otherwise. I pulled out Kringles. I started this back in May of 2020, so it was a long time ago. Now, what I have decided since that time is I'm only gonna stitch, it's gonna be a 2-floor building. So I will have, the top, whatever top row, I haven't decided on the rooms yet. The top row with the roof, take that out, and then have this bottom area. And I will decide which 5 rooms I'll want to stitch at that point. I had started one and it didn't make I'm pretty sure I'm stitching it cut, so I'm actually pulling that part out. But that's what the big full piece looks like. Mine will look a little smaller than that. And because I have so much extra fabric, I might not have to put anything below this because I was planning on stitching the whole thing originally. So that's what it looks like. That's where I am. Ignore this part because that's coming out. So this is done on an 18 count, and the others were 18 count for summer in Nantucket. Everything you'll see today is 18 count. This is 18 count Artemis from Bestitchme. So it's a really pretty kind of gray on the bluish tones. And my goal was I had to finish down here with the bricks, and then I had to come here and go down there with the bricks. So each room it's very hard to see on its own, but each room has like an ivory sort of border. So I will finish that, and then I will start the sign, the row that has the sign that says Kringles, and then the structure of the building underneath. So I'm gonna do the whole building first, and then I will think about which 5 rooms are definitely going in, and then I'll start. So I'll finish up with the rooms last. I get the whole structure done first. So exciting, and it really was necessary. It needed to see some time, so I pulled it out. It may not be every week that you see this, but I do want to give it a little bit more time than I have been, because otherwise it's just going to sit there and it's never going to get done. And I like it, so it's not something I want to say I don't want to do anymore. So we want to give it some focus. Okay, next one. Oh, I can fold this one over too. I am talking really fast today, so this might be a shorter video. Famous last words, I seem to always say that. I'm still working out uploading here in Delaware. It seems to be slower than Connecticut, so I gotta figure out why that's the case, so we can get these uploaded in time. Next one, is it digital? just dropped a whole bunch of stuff on the floor. Today is a little bit of a comedy of errors. We're just rolling with it. You know, I just do single taping, whatever happens. This is real life. I'm not fixing it kind of stuff. And luckily Shamrock is sleeping in his bed, so I'm pretty sure he'll be nice and quiet. You won't have to hear dog barking. The next one I wanted to show you was from Autumn Lane Stitchery. I am still working on, because I love it so much with the colors, Autumn Town. Right, that's what it's called. Yes, Autumn Town. And that's what the final piece will look like. When I was looking at it, you can get it as a PDF or you can get it as a actual copy, paper copy. I happen to get it as a PDF, which is why I show you this. And here we go. So I'm getting there. I am getting there. I just kept, I kind of went back and forth. I do have a little mistake here. I counted something wrong, not this week, but in a previous time, and it would be too much to take it out. So I said, you know what, that's just the edge of a house. I can finagle that. And then I did some more there, and then coming down here. So I'm going back and forth with it. This is done on 18 count, Fallen Leaf from To Die For Fabrics. Really pretty green. It's not, it's definitely a different shade than the Jade from Picture This Plus, but I thought it would be really nice as a background for this one. I thought it would show off these colors nicely, so that's why I went with it. And I like her fabric. This was a big piece, so I wasn't sure Picture This Plus would be the best choice for me for a bigger piece in hand, and her fabric is really nice, so that's another reason I went with it. There we go. I know so many of you have said that you're tempted to give it a shot. I say go for it. And if you do, make sure you let me know. I want to see pictures. I want to see how yours is coming along. So that's that one. A lot of fun. Please don't fall. I should just throw them on the ground. I don't know why I'm trying to put them over there. I have one more work in progress that I've done this week before I get to the new start. And this one, I've gotten a lot of people liking this one too, is Betsy's Autumn from Plum Street. And that's what it looks like. They did theirs on a more beigey kind of neutral than you're gonna see with me. Mine is done. Oh, you know what? I'll just use the back of this bag. This was a lovely gift from Bree. I'll just use the back of it. Oh, you know what you're seeing? Let me turn this a little bit. Our fish is right next to me, and I think you're seeing a little reflection off his water. There you go. Well, a little bit still, but that's all right. Here we go. This is on 18 count Honey Amber by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I am still just plugging away at this house. This house is huge. Now in the picture, the house is two-toned, but you'll notice it's a little bit lighter than what the DMC alternative is. I think it's Shabby Sheep, Classic Colorworks, in the overdyes, and they called for 644. And I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem with it, but if you wanted to do DMCs, but you didn't like it quite so dark, you might have to do a little bit of finagling with that. But I like it. And I'm just, I do some house, I do some window, then I do some roof, and I just keep going back and forth. So I swear I gave this some time this week. Doesn't necessarily look like it, but we're coming along. It'll get there. But that's where it is at the moment. I love this stitch. I really do. I love the colors. I love the look of the design. And I don't know, now that we've hit September, I'm really feeling the call of a lot of my autumn pieces. So you may see a lot more of those this week. When I was looking through what to stitch, when I pulled out Kringles, I also saw some Halloween stitches that are older that need some time. So we'll see. I don't know. I think I'll just kind of flip through and see what jumps out at me. But I do really like this one. And whether I switch between this one and Cinnamon Stars or maybe focus on one for a while, I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So that is it for the currently started projects that I worked on this week. And then I have one start. And if you do follow me on Instagram, you will know what I started this week, sort of, because I didn't tell you which one. I pulled out the Prairie Schoolers Santa's Revisited 2. And I didn't tell you which one I was gonna start. I had guesses, but I ended up starting 1984, right here. This guy holding the tree. And I don't know why, I like all three, so I would stitch all three. I'm not sure why I ended up choosing him first, but these are fun too. If you look, the borders, they all have borders, but they all have different types of borders, so they're really pretty, actually. Now, I did keep with the idea of, you know that the last two Prairie Schooler Santas that I stitched on Jade fabric from Picture This Plus. And I'm gonna use this bag again because that worked out nicely as a background. So I used it again for this Santa, and so that's what it looks like. I do like the Prairie Schooler colors on this. It's really a nice contrast. So this is 18 count Jade from Picture This Plus. And I talked about Santa's face colors because on Prairie Schoolers, very often, for example, 407 is the face. And then the cheeks, I don't remember now. Oh, it's that. Is 356. Very, very pink. I was gonna have them to show you to pull out. So what I ended up doing, and I did it for the first two, the 2020 and the 2021 Santa, was I consider the background fabric I'm using. And I say that because I'm gonna show you one that's different. I did not use those colors for his face on a neutral. But I consider the background fabric that I'm using. And this is it's a darker color, you know, it's darker than a neutral. You know, it has some different tones and shades to it. So I ended up using 3864 for his face. And then I took is it 407? Let me look. 407 that's slated for his face, and I used those for his cheeks. So I do have, you know, a bit of the pink in the cheeks, but for the face, I didn't want that. Now, I really like how that color shows up. Here's one of the ones. This is the 2021 Santa. I really like, let's put him on here. I really like how that color shows up face-wise on this fabric. But to show you a difference, last year at one point I stitched, there was a free offering for a magazine, and I can't remember what. I can look it up if you want me to, because I have everything written down. And there was a Prairie Schooler in there, Prairie Schooler Santa, in the free issue of the magazine. It was a digital, and I really liked it. And I stitched it on Vintage Country Mocha. So it's your one of your classic neutrals, and that's what he looks like. Now you'll see there, because it's on the neutral, I had chosen a whole different scheme for his face. So this one, 738 is his face, and his cheeks are 758. Again, though, I took what was slated to be his face and used it as his cheeks. So that's, if you look, you'll see two different shades of Santa's faces, but they really complement the color of fabric I used. And so that's what I think of too when I think, okay, I want to replace that pinky look. It's just too pinky, too mauve almost. And so I think about what my background fabric is. Kind of goes back to my stitching experiment with Nantucket. And then I choose what I want to change it to. So play around with it and, you know, see what really works for you or looks what you want it to look like on them. And you can get just different looks. So if you put this, oops, if I flip it over, that's that guy with that guy. So again, playing off of the fabric that I used. Experimenting with colors. I love it. I love doing it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So that's all of the current stitching I did this week. If you have questions about, you know, some of those changes. Oh, and the other change I made, See, good thing I write notes. On this guy, and I'm gonna fold it over a bunch of times so this way the light won't go through. On this guy, it's charted, the chart just says white for his beard and his, you know, his hair and what will be on his coat, you know, the edging. But the DMC alternative that they gave was 822, which was a really distinct beige, and I didn't want that. But I didn't want like your B5200. So I took the least bright of the whites that I use, which is 3865, and that's what I used. And when I get to the cuff and the edging of his coat, that's what I'll use there too. So that is the other change. I did make 3 changes in the charted color DMC colors for this guy. And I think this color is nice. It plays off everything without being that complete like neon bright kind of color. So that was the other change that I did make. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer anything I can. I do try, and most of the time, I'd say 98% of the time, I've written down what I've done so that if I want to go back and see, because if I hadn't done this original Santa, if I hadn't figured out what this color was, then I'd be scrambling again when I went to do 2021. So it helps me too if I'm going back and doing similar patterns. So I'm happy to give you any information that you might ask for. So that's it. Now, I don't normally do plans because I have no idea. I do know this week I'm buckling down, I'm finishing Cobblestone Crossing. I want to get that one done. From there, I am enjoying the color experiment, so you might see Nantucket again, but I am feeling the call for some Halloween and for some autumn. So you may or may not see Nantucket, but you'll see some sort of shades of autumn as well, because I do really like that. And then I haven't bought this yet, but I am loving it so much that I think I will. And this will be a start probably at some point if anybody's interested and likes it enough and wants to do it as well. This is a new pattern from Jardin Privé, and one of you, I can't remember now, I'm so sorry. One of you had sent me an email and said, I'm gonna enable you, look at this new pattern. And they knew me really well. And I just thought it was so cute that I told you it's called Lady Halloween, right? This is what it's called, what it looks like. Isn't that cute? So it's Quakerish. I don't know if when it has an alphabet, is that considered a sampler or does it have to be in some other way? I'm not really, I'm not following the themes. I kind of stitch what I want, but if you were looking for something and having an alphabet does count, and she does have it, she just did it, shows it in an orange colorway. I was thinking maybe a purple because I have a lot of purples and it's just the one color. So I thought that would look nice. So it's super cute. All the details around the witch and the in her dress and everything. I thought that was really cool. So whether or not I start that this week, if I buy it and start it this week, I don't know. But it's coming. It's coming. You enabled me. You got me. I love it. So if anybody, what I will do is I'll link it down below. If anybody else is interested seeing this and stitching it, let me know. And I'd be curious to see what color scheme you end up going with and what calls to you. So that would be fun. So that is somewhat of a plan. And I think I'd like to start it in September at some point, but I'm just not sure when exactly in September. So we'll see. Other than that though, no specific plans. I'm not following the theme of September. I'm not really following any theme. I'm just making my own path and forging along as I go with whatever I want to stitch. Okay. I did get a little bit of happy email from a stitchy friend, and I wanted to show you because I had not seen these patterns before, and they are so lovely. I was so excited. This stitchy friend, lovely stitchy friend, sent me, she had bought these patterns and sent them to me. And I love them. I love them so much. They're from Fox and Rabbit, specifically from their Blackberry Rabbit design line. And this first one is called Butterfly Bliss. Butterfly Bliss. Look at how pretty that is. That is gorgeous. I've been noticing around here, we've got a lot of butterflies floating around. So that is so pretty. I love that one. And then the next one is called Be Different. Look at that. I love that. And I love the kind of honeycomb fabric that it was stitched on. And I did a little searching, and it does come in Ada, and it does come in an 18 count. So I am going to find a online local needlework shop. I guess, I don't know if you call it local when it's online, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna find a shop that is carrying it and order some from them, because I think it'd be really cool stitched on that. I love that. So that was so nice. I'm so grateful. Thank you, you know who you are. I really love these. So that was a nice little piece of happy email. All right, shopping. Now I have to go and pick up what I just dropped, so I'll be right back. You can see my windows while I look. Okay, there we go. I'm trying to figure out the angle because my windows, I don't have all the shades down, but I can put shades here, but up here, I don't know what to do for lighting purposes. I love the setup otherwise, so we're working on it. We're working on it. I'll get there. I don't know if in this case, when you have a background like that, would a light somewhere else help? Not sure. We'll figure it out. But I get to stand and do my video, which is what I love doing. I don't like sitting and doing them. I like standing and moving around. Shopping. I have shopping from 2 different places. The same friend who had gifted me those 2 lovely fox and rabbit charts had sent me a link and said, hey, look at this. You might like this. And they'd seen it on somebody else's video. I can't remember who they'd seen it on now. I need to write better notes. And I thought it was intriguing, so I thought I'll give it a try. And it's just it's an Amazon product, so it's not something that would be hard to find. But it's a threaded needle case. So it holds, does it say how many? Up to 10 threaded needles. So for example, with that Jardin Privé pattern, if I'm doing it all one color, I could thread several needles with strands, hold them in here, and then every time I finish a strand, I just have to grab one and I don't have to rethread the needle. Or if I'm doing something that uses a lot of different colors, I could do the same thing, especially if I can tell which one is which, unless they're like the same exact colors. But I thought that might be a good idea too, depending, and just have a few different needles threaded. So I'm super excited to give this a try and see how it works. And I will let you know when I try it. And if you have experience with it, let me know what you think. And if there are any tricks or tips that you would suggest with it. So I picked that up. That was just an Amazon product. And then I had gone to Color and Cotton, and they had updated some of their ready to ship items. And so I had to buy a few. These are all 18 count, I believe. Let me see. Yes, I do look at the 20 count now. Now that I've used 20 count once, I do look to see if there's anything. They didn't have anything at the time though, so I went with just all 18. This first one is just called Sampler Gold. Nice little pretty neutral. Excited to see what I can choose with that. There are definitely a lot of different patterns that would work nicely that I have with this. So that's first. Then we went with the couple colors. First one is called Jolly. It's a pretty green. It is definitely more neonish than you would say the Jade would be, for example. Let me show you the difference there. Much different color families. And if I reach over, again, much different color families, but this is what the fallen leaf looks like. Greener, brighter. So this is the fallen leaf from To Die For, and this is the Jolly from Color and Cotton. Just to give you some ideas of the shade, if you're interested. And then the last one, because you know my love of blue, I always have to look at the blues, and this one's called Acid Wash. And it is just a really, really lovely blue. I can't wait to see what I can use with that. So those were the 3 that I picked up. They are all 13 by 17 size. I've found with the ready to ship Color and Cotton that that's the only size that seems to be available right now. I don't know if larger sizes will become available or I don't know how it's gonna work, but that's all right, because especially if it's colors I've not used before, it gives me a chance to give them a try and see what I think of them. And then I can just always go back, and if they have bigger sizes and I like it, then I can go get them. But those are the 3 that I picked up. And that is it for shopping. That's all I did. I do have the Jardin Privé that I would like to pick up. And then I did see, you know, the months, the 4 months, in which company is it? Crusetta Go-Go, the windows, the 4 months in the window. I believe she came out with September to December. So now I need to make a final decision which one I want to buy first and start stitching some of those, because those are so cute. So that's it. That's all I have for shopping. So let's talk giveaways. All right, last week I had said that I would like to give away this pattern, and it is called Autumn Harvest from Silver Creek Samplers. It's a cute little pattern, and again, what you can't see over here is a little house on the hill, and then over on the other side, you can, I don't know if you can see it here, you can barely see, you can see the leaf. It's half of a tree with some leaves. So I'm excited to give this one a try, and you know, I can show you once I stitch it the full piece if you're interested in it. But I thought that was cute. So we talked about scents and what your favorite smells are and everything. So that was a lot of fun. And yes, apple and cinnamon was popular, and I totally agree. I love that, especially in the fall. And then somebody had mentioned how different times of year brings different types of scents that she enjoys, and that is so true too. That was a really great point. I liked that comment. All right, so who is getting this chart? Let me grab a name. I almost forgot, I was getting ready to tape. I was starting a little bit later than I thought I would, because I was up really early this morning, and then I realized I hadn't done the names. So I was like, oh, I can't do a giveaway if I don't have the names. So the winner is S. Vance. So S. Vance, I'm gonna put your name up against this. Congratulations. If you could please get back to me with your address, I will send you out this chart. You can either send me your address through the Gmail address down below, stitchingbytheshore@gmail.com, or down below, Paper Laura is my Instagram account if you need to see it, and feel free to DM me that way as well. Or however else, just get a hold of me and I will send it out to you. Now, this week, when I was buying that the needle case, I said, well, why not buy a second and somebody else can try it with me? So I bought a second one of these, and I'd like to do this as the giveaway. If somebody is interested in giving this a try, if you've never used, maybe you have it. Maybe I'm like the last person to know about these things, and most of you have it already, but I thought I would give it a try as a giveaway. So that's what I'm giving away this week. 2 things. 1, say the word needle anywhere in your comment. Doesn't have to be part of the sentence. It can be in the beginning, the end. I don't care. Just, I look for the word needle. So that's the first part of the giveaway. The second part is a question that everybody can answer, and then the word needle is what gets you in the giveaway. But as I'm standing here, I don't want to lift him up because God forbid I ever drop him. I have right here, so really close, is our fishbowl with Comet. Comet, let me see if I can just bring him a little bit. He's got a lot of water. There he is. Say hi, Comet. Comet is a comet fish. Yes, we weren't very creative with our naming of him. We bought him for Connor when Connor was in, I can't remember if it was the 2nd or the 3rd grade. I'm not sure. Comet is one of those fish that the pet stores feed to other fish. So he wouldn't have had a long life expectancy, but he does here. He has lived about 10 years. I don't know, Mo spoils him. That's how I know this this guy has lasted as long. And he's a fighter because he's got things wrong with him, but he refuses to give up. So when we've been going back and forth to between Delaware and Connecticut, we've usually asked somebody just to feed him and not brought him, because that's a process. But this time, since we're down here longer, Mo researched how to transport fish and the whole bit, and we transported it down. He did great. He's doing great here. And so he will be traveling, if we both go back and forth, he will be traveling back and forth. If one of us stays down here, he'll just stay down here. So, but yes, he has issues where the poor thing, he floats where he can't swim, and there are ways to work around that. Mo's researched it, treats him well, and this fish has survived for way longer than we ever thought he would. But we feel guilty if we don't really take care of him. He's a pet, part of our family, so we treat him as best as we can. So my question to you, since I'm looking right at this guy right now, is do you have any pets? Did you used to have pets growing up, or did you have any unusual pets, or just tell me about pets in general, type of thing. And I'd be interested to see, if any unusual pets. We've had dogs. Well, we've had one dog. I had a dog growing up, late teens, when my brothers that were little got the dog when they were little. I didn't, but it was my mom's dog in the end, obviously. Let's be real. My brothers didn't do much with her. But we have Shamrock, and then we have periodically had fish along the way. Back in the 4th grade, I think both kids, that's how Megan got it. Connor ended up a fish younger. They do the soda bottle fish and all that stuff, and I think Megan ended up with a snail, which was amazingly fun to watch. I know, a snail. That's it. That's all we've had for pets. I've never had any other types of pets growing up before. And Mo didn't have any pets growing up, so this is new for us. But what about you? What's your pet situation? I know a lot of you have cats and dogs because I get to see them on videos or on Instagram pictures and so on and so forth, but I'd be really curious about that. So that's the question for everybody. Answer it for the giveaway, answer the question and add the word needle, and the word needle will get your name put in the bowl, and I'll pick a winner for the needle holder next week or next video. I mean, I try to do the videos every week, but for some reason, if I'm not able to, it's just a scheduling thing, and I would always do my best to let you know. So that's it. That's all of the stitching stuff. Thank you so much. If you don't want to hear anything live, thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you next time around. Life-wise, not a heck of a lot. We did end up going to IKEA on Saturday. We found something for me upstairs. There's kind of an extra space, which is where I'm going to put whatever supplies will eventually make its way down here to Delaware. And so that's where I'd like to keep them, so it keeps everything neat and kind of in place. We did find, kind of a cube cubby system, and then I will get some baskets, and depending on things, what they are, they'll go in different places. I do want to keep some of my paper crafting, so I have to think about what's coming and how to store that. We'll see. That's going to be a process. We were looking for something for our mudroom, kind of shelving for some dog stuff and everything like that as well. And unfortunately, what we wanted, they didn't have in stock. So we're going to keep an eye out, see if it comes back, or find something similar to it. So that was, we got our exercise, because, with IKEA, you walk around. I mean, I know there's shortcuts and you can cut through in some places, but you basically walk through the entire store to get from one end to the other. So that was our big outing. Then we came down to Delaware on Sunday, and in the process, all that driving kind of threw my, I basically, between the arthritis in the chest and some in the neck, and it kind of threw my lower back out, so it was a little sciatica. Gotta keep standing, which is why I like doing these things standing as opposed to walking around rather than sitting all the time. So that kind of threw me off a little bit, but in the process, I was watching all of the storms. If you were down south and you were affected by Ida, my heart goes out to you. was devastating watching it. We were very lucky up here last week with Henri that it did not do as it weakened rather than strengthened, and so we were lucky that we did not get hit anywhere near as hard as it was supposed to. But then I look at these pictures down south, and I am just completely saddened by all the destruction and people being out of power for what will be weeks in a heat wave, and water and food and all of that. So I'm thinking about anybody affected down there. And then as it came up, we were in Delaware when Ida came through the Northeast, and we're southern, so we got some good winds. We definitely got some good winds, but we didn't get as much rain as northern Delaware did. Maybe an inch or two, nothing different than just a regular storm. And we were lucky not to get any of the potential tornadoes going through. Where Megan's part of Pennsylvania got hit really hard. She's okay at school, they were fine. But you come in a little bit more towards Philly, and the devastation, I can't, in New Jersey and southern Connecticut, definitely. In different places as well. So I'm thinking about all of you in the Northeast. If you have been hit by this storm and the flooding, I hope you're safe. Is first off, because it's scary what how destructive the water can be. I hope you're safe and okay, and I'm praying that it didn't affect all the stuff around you, or your family, your loved ones, or friends, or whatever. So just amazing what Mother Nature can do in how destructive it can be. So I'm thinking about all of you in that sense. Yeah, the day of Wednesday, it was really nice here. Megan's game yesterday was supposed to be Wednesday. Obviously, in that between eastern and southern middle of Pennsylvania, everything really got rescheduled and I'm so pleased, because I was really worried about her driving through all of that, the bus going through all of that. So I was really happy that they waited the 24 hours and rescheduled the game, and did not attempt it at all. But we just waited it out. It was beautiful the day of, and then overnight we did get some of what we got, but I just couldn't believe it. Other than that, that's it. We supposed to have a beautiful holiday weekend on tap this weekend. We have to, whatever they planted outside in the house, we went to a nursery, because the stuff's not doing well, especially the black-eyed Susans. And we went to the nursery, and they said, where we are, we have wet soil. So I have to look for plants that like wet feet. So my gardeners out there, if you're out there and you're still listening, help, please. I'm not sure. I am zone 7B, and I get afternoon sun, full afternoon sun. But I need to figure out things that don't mind having wet roots or wet feet, I guess. So if you have any suggestions, so I think that's maybe something we want to try to do, because all of the stuff is it's just dying. It's not doing well at all. And I'm intimidated by, it's not a huge area, but it's big enough to intimidate me. So I think that's potentially the weekend plans. And other than that, we're just going to take it as it comes. Enjoy the nice, beautiful weather, and maybe go for lots of walks. And yeah, that's it. So anyway, it is a holiday weekend. Not sure what everybody's doing. But I hope whatever it is that you are safe and well, and hopefully the weather helps you be able to get out if you can. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe get lots of extra stitching in if you have Monday off, because that's always a good thing. I'm sure Megan has it off too. Connor said he has it off from classes, and I'm sure Megan will have it off from classes as well too, so they can enjoy a long weekend at school. So that's about it. So until next time, my friends, I hope you're well. I hope you are safe. I hope you're getting lots of stitching in, and happy stitching.